Welcome to the Land of Bet Sports Betting live show. We got live show producer Maddie in the house. Going to bring him on. Definitely hit him up so we can get y'all's bets up on the screen. Got that stuff scrolling in the bottom right. But we're going to be going through the 9-game slate that we have here, man. So hope everybody's feeling good. We'll be trying to do a little bit more of these, more consistency. Hopefully you guys saw back at it with the YouTube videos. So those are coming up each night now. Got to go back to like every night without fail. Otherwise, the algorithm, Lord Algo, will still continue to just punish me for not having put up videos for like a week, and now it's not showing my videos to anybody. But we'll get back to it. We got plenty of people already jumping in because I'm late per usual, because that's just how I roll. My theme song is I'm late. So let's get right into it, though. Since I am a bit late, we got 9 games. I'm going to bring Maddie on as well. How you feeling, Matt?
I am doing well. I can't complain. I'm excited for a slate that kind of makes some sense, I think.
Does it? Does it?
What I read today a couple hours ago before all hell broke loose on the timeline.
Uh-huh. All right, good. All right, then let me go ahead and share stuff here. I got my stuff set up. We'll get you on. No, this is not what I want. I want this one. I think that's the one I want. I'll figure it out. This is what happens when you just don't do it for a while. Let me get this right here. There we go. Now I'm going to share this. Get up. I'm going to bring up the model to start. I got my stuff that I put down. I'm putting down, I'm letting everybody know what I'm betting. Not quite to the same capacity. I'm just trying to dig myself out of a hole, but really showing everybody the tools that we have as much as anything. So which game should we start with, do you think, Matt? Atlanta, Boston. We've got first one is what, Cleveland, LA, but we can go wherever you think is a good starting spot.
I'm really good with anything. I have no complaints. I probably have the most in Memphis, Charlotte.
Oh,
but
okay.
Cleveland, LA is cool with me too.
All right, let's start Cleveland, because I think they're interesting because they've got the Mobley and Darius Garland stuff for them, and then those guys being out. So we've got the minutes pretty high here for Allen, Tyson, Donnie Mitchell, even Sam Merrill. I think that might be a tad high, but the model's just looking at Sam Merrill and going, well, when he plays, like, he's been upwards of higher minutes than that. So I think he's probably on a minutes limit. But while we're on the model 2, I just wanted to make clear, if you guys see Swish in here, a lot of you already know, ask him what you've got. If you tag him, that's going to be helpful for him to find your stuff. If you tag Maddie, that'll be helpful for him to find whatever you're putting in there as well. So let's just start right here, because we got a look from Nate SG talking about Jalen Tyson on the boards. We do have Tyson with some pretty good numbers today. We have 6, but it's the 6.5 is his number right now, I'm pretty sure. So the bigger edge that I saw for Tyson was on the points. Did you put a bet down on him?
Yeah, I took 15.5 points, and it's only because it's the only thing that didn't move. I don't hate the look at the boards, but if I were to play the boards, because I think there's still upside to it, I think I'll just go to the double-double. I think there's better value there.
Interesting.
Well, just if we're talking about just in general, like a minus 110 to plus 110 bet, I think the best bet is the points. And if you just think he's getting rebounds because Mobley's out, I think double-double makes the most sense.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
It does. You're saying if you like the boards anyway, I mean, you would play the 6.5, I imagine, and then just play the double-double as well for a sprinkle. Because
I'd probably do like 0.75 and 1.25 is probably what I'll do.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder what a bet like, 15 and 8 is for him as well. If you wanted to play something that was more like a 3-1, perhaps, maybe you have to take more points than 15.5, but something like that could work for Tyson too. Yeah, you can see here the edge is a bit more on the points. If you have 15.5, looks like it is moving a bit to 16.5 on the points here on PropsMadness. We got 15.5 in the beloved books of Hard Rock and BetMGM. And then everywhere else, aside from Pinnacle, it's also 16.5. So 16.5, you start to lose a bit of that edge. I think 16 is a fair guess for him in this one, and projection in general. It's really just about, obviously, those guys being out. But 15.5 is right about, we have fair market at 15, right?
Right.
15 is just us saying, based on what the market has said for his numbers, what they've priced his numbers at in a vacuum, regardless of who's playing with him or who's not playing with him, he's at about 15 points, 5 boards, 2 dimes, right? You can add now probably a point or 2 to get to 16 pretty easily for the for Tyson with those guys out. I think 6.5 is as high as you go. So that's why the 6.5 to me just doesn't have an edge on the boards. I'm with you. I also took the points for Tyson over taking anything for his rebounds. I think, like I said, this is a very fair 16.5 point projection, because if he's just playing normal circumstances, he's 15. These are not normal circumstances. We've got guys that are out that help him bump up his usage, bump up the points that we can expect for him in this situation. So I like the Jalen Tyson look to start there. Anything else from this game? Go ahead.
Yeah, something I also pondered with this Jalen Tyson thing was how much does DeAndre Hunter fit into this? Because, we are without Mobley, so there are shots to go around. So I was kind of wondering, is that the reason the 15-5 isn't moving? But I think it's more likely just based on the way Hunter plays. And this isn't I'm not saying don't to fade his points or anything.
Yeah.
But I think it's more likely to see Hunter take some of those rebounds than it is for him to take some of those points.
Interesting. Not a fan of him scoring too much, you're saying. Let me pull up DeAndre for a minute.
I am not racing to the window to bet his points. I'll put it like that.
Right. So if I pull up DeAndre, I just want to look at his recent games here real quick too. So if we look at his stuff, 19-13. I didn't see what happened in this game where he got 13 minutes against Charlotte, 26 against OKC, and that was in a blowout. So you could argue that he was losing minutes. I don't know, man. 19 minutes in this last game against Sac. Did you see what happened in that game by chance? Because I'm just wondering if DeAndre Hunter's not getting minutes, then I'm down to sort of feel good about that.
I did not. My concern would just be the additional minutes available.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I think Hunter's going to pick up, 10 extra minutes or anything like that. Right. So not if you're looking to fade him, I'm not trying to tell you not to do that, but
no, it's more about I just want to see his minutes if I can feel good. Like there should be points coming from other places. So I know people are bringing up other games, so I just wanted to bring up one more thing, which is we've got on the projections here, we've got to add Merrill back in. Donovan Mitchell has been going absolutely bonkers. So that's a big fear of taking too many overs. But I do love the numbers for Tyson and even Merrill. If you can get him at 11.5, even in 25 minutes, I still think he's good for this playing without Darius Garland. He gets a pretty big bump. I think we've got that here. I guess he actually only has 0.3 more points per game without Garland than he does normally on the season. So he doesn't even get that big of a bump, but he's already playing 25. So my main thing is, Jared Allen is the one that I'd be fading. I think you can take points potentially from Allen and Hunter, a couple points from them to feel good. You can get an over on Merrill and Tyson, even though Donnie's going to have a stupid high usage. Let me look at what Donnie's recent stuff is real quick.
That's 100 the sentiment I'm referring to. If we're looking at Darius being in with, I don't see that as a reason not to take Jalen is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Agreed. Yep. DeAndre Hunter is not impacting that. In fact, the fact that he's maybe has a pretty high projection, what are DeAndre Hunter's lines at 13.5 points? If you feel like that's too high for Hunter and you feel like 16.5 is too high for Allen, then I'm down to take two guys on the other side in terms of Sam Merrill and Jalen Tyson. So I haven't done that. I think you did, right? You took both those guys, Merrill at 10.5.
Yeah, I took it 7.5 and 7.5. Yeah.
I think that makes sense. And then as far as Donnie goes and how he fits into this, I want to cap him and then I want to cap Allen. Then we can probably move on. But for Donnie, his recent stuff has been 6 assists. And this recent number that you'll see on the model is saying, based on his recent potentials, this is what a fair projection for him is, just based on all these recent potentials that he's had. So before 4 assists against Orlando, he had 9, 8, 6, just 3 against OKC, 12 against Philly. And this is also all without Darius Garland. So this is a pretty good representation that 6.5 is a pretty fair assist number for Donnie. If you think you have a bit of an edge, which let me look at the matchup stuff. So I'm going back over to matchup to look at opponent analysis. The Lakers are 11th in terms of the team that you would like. They're a top 11 team you want to play against to get scoring or assist opportunities. I can see that being a pretty good look for Donnie. Not sure if there's much. I'm going to look at PropsMadness for a sec because that's going to show me a little bit more about the position if you care about that. Guards, they're giving up the 3rd most assists to guards. And according to so similar players to Donnie, they have given up a good amount of dimes over here on the bottom right on PropsMadness. It shows you sort of similar players by what their archetype that they're considering. You can just look at straight up guards by position. Good amount of assists against LA. I'm in no way impressed by their defense. I like catch and shoot guys against their defense too, which is also on the projections. That's why we've got both Tyson and Merrill as guys that are getting more field goal attempts against the Lakers because they give up that catch and shoot. They give up stuff to off ball guys. Donovan, I think I would also be looking at the assist, but I think it's pretty silly high at this point, isn't it? Is it 6.5 juice? That's what I was saying, is 6.5 juice for Donnie is just, you kind of lose me unless you're just selling out on that. I'm not leaning in that hard to the dimes. Maybe there's just something more to without Garland. No, 5.8 assists is not many more, right? Yeah, so he's at 5.8 assists per game without Darius Garland. I don't know if there's much of a bump that can be added there. I'm not going to take him for the dimes, but I hear you on where I'd be leaning. His usage has been so silly high. I would be taking overs on Donnie on anything. One more cap I just wanted to have real quick was on Jared Allen. This is what I was looking at with Jared Allen is like the PRA was at like 20, now it's 28 and a half. There's two ways to look at this, and I ended up just staying away because I was split on it, which is Jared Allen doesn't get 29 PRA very often, right? If you look at him, this is all without Darius Garland. If you look at him in games without Evan Mobley, where's Mobley? Come back. There we go. Mobley out. PRA still at about 25.7 in just those games. There's only one game without both Darius and Donnie. He went clean off, but I would also say Donovan Mitchell was missing in that game. Everybody was. The thing that took me away from betting on Allen unders, which is where I was going to go as I'm looking at this, is like Allen doesn't do this. Like he's at about 33 PRA per 36 just in the on-off court numbers. And it's about 170 minutes on the season. And Jared Allen playing with Donovan Mitchell and without Evan Mobley and Darius Garland at the same time, about 33 PRA. So that's just like, okay, I'm out because that leads me to want to go over. I'm got such conflicting data on Allen that I'm kind of out. So any last thoughts on this game or something you saw in the comments before we move on?
So two things. I saw someone mention Rui threes earlier, and I looked at this. I looked at Marcus threes. I looked at Laravia threes, Rui's threes, because I wanted someone for catch and shoot against the Lakers. I think that's where they're the most vulnerable at. And I couldn't get there. I think the market's really adjusted to the matchup. And if I had to go with somewhere, I would probably lean Laravia threes. But my concern to that would be, are they trying to market Rui for a trade? Will he get the minutes? I believe he will be starting, but I just, everything looked very fair. And so I just couldn't get there with either one of the three. The last thing that I am going to do, I haven't done it yet. If it's still available at plus 440, I'm going to sprinkle Luka triple-double.
Who?
Luka triple-double.
Luka. Got it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Luka triple-double potentially, and just because it's Luka.
Just because it's Luka, I'm not taking his PRA or anything like that, though I do think there's probably room for it. The reason I'm looking to do this is losing Mobley off the court. I imagine there's going to be some rebounds to go around and some slashing to the basket for Luka and others for assisting.
So, wow, yeah, the triple-double for him is still pretty high. What's he lacking in the most? Rebounds?
I think it's rebounds.
Yeah, rebounds makes sense. 7.5 plus 100, so a lot more juice to the under there. That makes complete sense. So that's why the triple-double is 5-1, and he's still got 3 of them this season or something like that. I'm never going to just disagree with like a straight sprinkle on something like that. Totally feel you. And the other one, though, Rui at 2.5 threes, you've totally lost me. I guess he's just been going berserk in the last 2 against these defenses. The Cavs ranked decent, not very well, I guess, defending the 3 overall. I think the Cavs are a team you want to play against because they play fast and they're not that impressive. Yeah, they're middle of the pack, but 12th in terms of assist opportunities, scoring opportunities. Those are things you can both get against them. They play at the 5th fastest tempo, so that definitely helps you get overs against them. But Marcus would be the only one, I think, 9.5 points. You have a bit of an edge just based on his usage without guys. Let me see what the model thinks about Marcus specifically.
Swish agrees. He likes the Rui price and smart usage in that one.
Yeah, Rui at 2.5 is crazy. I guess he's been taking a bunch more threes. Marcus is at wait, this says 29 fair market. Oh no, that's still Donnie. This is loading for Marcus. I was like, Marcus Smart, 29 points tonight. Oh my god, cancel everything. I have to bet more Marcus Smart. Let's see. We'll wait for that. Yeah, it just loaded. For Marcus, 9 points is what's been fair. I still think like his recent stuff is more indicative of what he'll continue to do when he's playing 32, 30, 31. Like Austin Reeves has helped a ton. And Rui's been back for a few games. So there's no worry that Rui's going to come in and take minutes or anything like that. So I think Marcus is my favorite look from the ones that you mentioned. And then Laravia has just spawned me every time that I've ever bet on him. So I'm pretty much out on Laravia, but decent looks there. Let's keep rolling. As we keep going through, I'm going to pull up a different team on the model just so you guys know we got the free projections up on the site for this. When you test it out, I've also got the top what we have over here. We have the top edges that we're putting up each day as well. So there's just a chart with pulling stuff directly from the model going, all right, here's the top 30 edges that we pulled from the model based on our projection has a 2.5 point differential between what the line is for a guy like Sandro's points and the differential on what our projection is 15.5. Nice big, just pulling that stuff out based on matchup, based on projection. This is matchup, and then also based off the injury stuff as well. So if someone's out, showing you who benefits the most from that guy being out. And this is all stuff you can get on the dashboard here, but then I'm pulling it out and putting it on a specific place for you guys. So even if you get the free trial, you'll get access to all that stuff too, just to help you guys out. But let's get to the next one. I'm going to get to Props Madness. You guys saw me putting up the little affiliate deal for that too. If you want to use this platform, dives into a couple other things too. But let's do Bulls Pacers real quick. I'll just say I love Jalen Smith. Let's see if that's still at 8.5 rebounds. But I just, he's my guy to board against this team. We're always looking for a center, somebody to board up against the Pacers. I like Jalen Smith today. I love the minutes that he's been playing: 37, 27, 27, 24, 31. Like basically playing without Zach Collins has helped. I don't think he's going to get mid 30s because Giddey's getting higher and higher. He's getting more minutes now. He's getting fuller. But I do think Jalen Smith is still going to be a good look. So any thoughts on him before we get to another guy?
No, I agree with you. You want to find someone to get rebounds. I was looking at Vooch just because the number was fair, but yeah, I can get behind Jalen 100%.
Right. And so for Vooch, the difference is, let me just get to the player stuff. If we go to Vooch, there's so many Nicolas these days. If we go to Nikola and we see what he's been doing lately, he's still getting big minutes. So it's he and Sticks are playing together a lot, actually. If they're both getting low 30s, Vooch is getting more minutes. So you're not wrong to chase Vooch stuff. I was going to look at Matas. Has he been losing minutes potentially? 22, 30. I don't know. Sticks has just been getting a ton and doing a lot with it, but I guess Vooch is fair too. What's his number? If I pull Vucevic,
it was 8.5 earlier. I don't know if it's still that.
It's actually the books are saying he and Sticks are going to both get boards. I can see that. I think this is one of those things too, where like if Jalen Smith is the matchup helps, if Jalen Smith is not guarding Jay Huff, that could help. He might be the one guarding Jay Huff. I'm not totally sure, but I think that the projections for Sticks, like they just love him at this point. Jalen Smith, if you look at his stuff on the model specifically, still like a starter's worth of minutes in the projections. And then the rebounds as of late have been at about 9.8, 10. That seems fair. Fair market is 8, and then you add at least 1 for the fact that he's been getting a big uptick in minutes, right? So I love Jalen Smith on this one. I also sprinkled on the double-double. You can get it basically 2-1 on DraftKings if you're interested in that. On any other looks that you saw in the chat, or would you want to go to next in this one?
I think we covered it. There was a Kobe White over 19.5. They mostly agree with you about Jalen Smith though.
Okay. Kobe, 31 minutes, 20 points, roughly 4 boards, roughly 5.5 dimes. And the look is on the points, right?
I assume so. That's the
19.5 was the number. Yeah. If that was the number, then yeah. So 19.5 is still hopefully the number. I can see if it's fully updated, but 20 seems to be fair for us in this one. I mean, the only thing that would detract from Kobe, because he is getting that back up to just sort of like consistently low 30 is his number for minutes. Josh is getting big more minutes.
Can we talk about Josh in a moment?
Josh is getting big more minutes. That was a sentence I just said. He do more minutes sometimes. Good. So minutes, 28, 24, 20. Yeah, this 28 against LA and an 11-point loss. I didn't see what happened at the end there. 31% usage though. So this is probably what's like scaring people from taking too much from other guys, right? In terms of adding more numbers to like keeping guys' lines low because Giddey stuff might be on the rise. What's his number? 16.5, which you thought looked low if he's increasing his minutes, right?
Yeah. So when I was first like looking at this like several hours ago, I was like, why is this 16.5? This seems inflated. And then I was talking to some people and they mentioned, well, it's probably because matchup and then additional minutes, which makes sense because he has been like playing more and more minutes each time he plays since coming back from injury. The reason I was looking at it is because I think this is a great matchup for Giddey. Like where he likes to shoot, he's taking 61% of his shots in the paint. 56% of those shots are within 10 foot of the goal. Mm-hmm. And guess what Indiana LL shots at?
Yeah, they're terrible in the paint. No question. Yeah. Going to this from a matchup standpoint, if there's anything here, no direct stuff for Giddey's. I mean, it's just where he's scoring. But if you're scoring down low, like this is a team you want to play against. They give up a ton because they're bad down low. They also give up a ton because they can't rebound. They miss shots. So I'm honestly good with. I think Giddey at 16.5 points might be a bit of a steal. The way I was using this on PropsMadness is I just sort of filtered the games that he's played between 26 to 30 minutes, and I think 32 is a reasonable ceiling even. And there might be news at some point soon that he's going to be playing full. We'll wait for see if anything like that comes out, but. Yeah, I think Giddey over 16.5 points is also a look. What do we have him at real quick? I just had him up. We had him. So yeah, based on his recent stuff and not knowing how many minutes he's going to play, it's tough to get him to full minutes here. We've got him at 24. So in 24 minutes, though, if you consider he's at like 14 points and we think he's probably going to get like 6 more or so in this game, then I think you can get Giddey to 17 points if you want. I haven't bet that at all. I did bet the sticks bet though for anybody interested in that. Anywhere else we should move in this one?
There is a question about IO, but I think that directly affects the Giddey bet and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really which one you buy into on that.
Yeah,
and same with Kobe too.
Right, it's IO or the other. Yeah, essentially. So I get that. I would be okay with what do we based on the fact that we have Giddey at 24 minutes just because that's what he's been playing. Still hasn't really helped IO, I guess. What has IO stuff been?
I've been betting him around the 11.5, 12.5, but this was without Giddey or Giddey on a minutes restriction. And I think that's a really important distinction to make.
Yeah, it is. And his number is 11.5 on the points, which definitely feels low. If he's getting 25 minutes, even if Giddey the Giddler is around, I think the 25 minutes it's fair. It's just, this is too inconsistent of a play for me when we're talking about IO. On the other side, though, for Indy, anything that interests you there?
I looked at and I flirted with 8.5 points for McConnell. I haven't gotten to the window on it. This just feels like the type of game that he would go off in. Like he likes the midi, he likes the layup range, kind of the same thing with Giddey. And you've got an average to bad defense here and some tempo. So that's kind of the reason I was looking at it. But you kind of need this man to get 15 minutes consistently, or like a ceiling of 20 minutes to get there too. And I'm just unsure with Naismith and Mathurin and everyone back in the lineup for the most part if we can get him there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's your thoughts on it?
Nah, I don't have an edge. That's my only thing is like there's no sort of like lack of guards. You've got Benedict Mathurin and Aaron Naismith back, and everything's just so full for the Pacers that I don't quite know how minutes are going to start getting spread out. Plays, I think you have like 18, 19 is actually on the high end for him when we consider he's at like 17 on the season, can play anywhere from 14 to 19. I don't even know if the minutes necessarily, like, let's do 14 to 19 for a minute because that's basically what he's been playing. If you just sort of filter his range to that, it's like a 50-50 bet at that point.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Yeah. So there's no edge to it other than the matchup. And if you like the matchup enough to get there with it, and if you add a point to the projection of 9, which the projection of 9 seems very reasonable, and that already gets you to the bet, but then you're paying the VIG for a 50-50 bet.
Yeah.
Depends on what
you want. That's to get to the window.
Yeah, plus 104, you can start to convince me that you're like pushing me over into the realm of having an edge on this bet. If you can get the plus money for McConnell on the points, then I get that.
The only other thing I looked at in this game was, and that someone's commenting it here, Bryce, is Johnny Furphy rebounds. I had that they were interesting, just not sure how to project his minutes. Kind of the same thing with TJ McConnell, obviously different situation. But he has a decent matchup tonight, I would think. But 4.5 just seems like the premium for uncertainty around the minutes, I think.
Oh, I think there's certainty around the minutes that he's not getting a lot of them.
Bingo.
So this is the guy that he starts for. It's Benedict Mathurin, right? So when Benny Matz is not around, then this dude's starting and maybe playing 22, maybe playing 35. He's still annoying as hell to figure out. But 4.5 rebounds was the line pretty much without our boy. And 3.5 is probably a lot more fair. Like you said, the matchup might be bumping this up, but with Benedict Mathurin around, with everybody around, like this is actually a fade spot for a guy like Johnny Furphy, who at 4.5 rebounds, if the matchup wasn't bad, then I would fade this just on principle. Let me see what we have on here, because this is one of those spots where it's like, all right, Johnny Furphy has been getting a bit more run. Benedict Mathurin wasn't around for a while. We also didn't have Aaron Nesmith around for a while. Even Jarris Walker missed some games recently, and he's expected to play in this one. So all those guys take minutes from Furphy, and then you start to go, well, okay, then he should be losing stuff, right? And we don't even have lines pulling through because there's not enough books. Jarris Walker is playing this. Yeah, this is like a fade spot where he's just been going over, and nobody's been around, and now everybody's around, but the line is the same. The problem is the matchup sucks because it's a really easy matchup, so I wouldn't be able to fade that. So that's why he'd be a stay away from me. Yeah,
makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy that the 3.5s were around without Benedict Mathurin, right? And now they're 4.5 with him. So that's annoying to me if you wanted to take an over. Let's roll to, and if there's anything in the comments, then good, but I think we probably got it. We got a Nembhard RA. I'll just do one more then because I did run into it. And Toledo asked about Andrew Nembhard RA. Let me know if you do have an angle whenever you bring up something like that too, because I'd be interested to hear. Like I usually fade Nembhard rebounds. Wow, they're not a 2.5, and he's been going clean over. 2.5, I'm not going to fade. I would fade like 4.5. He's normally guarding the best player on the other team, but he'll probably be guarding Kobe White. Not ideal for boards, but that's why they're so low. Jesus. That's not why they're so low, but they are super low. The dimes are what's probably fair, but he has been going over that consistently. Let me see what we've got for Nembhard. 3 boards and close to 8 dimes, which gets you to the 11. If you have that at what? Do we say 9.5 RA real quick? Let me just pull that up. No, 10.5 for not even good, not even flat, like 10.5 minus 120 or so. And we have him at 11. I think that's a pretty fair projection. You're playing with fire a little bit. You don't have too much of an edge. We're saying recently he's been doing really well too, as you saw. Like he's been going clean over this. He's been averaging, let's call that 4.5 and 8.7, like 12.5 or so. And this is at 10.5. So he's recently been at about 12.5, and we're still saying that like 10 is fair. You've got a good opponent. I think that's a good bet. I think that Andrew Nembhard RA is a good bet when you look at what he's been doing as of late. Has equated to about 12.5 RA per game based on rebound chances, assist chances. That's what you're seeing with these recent numbers right here. These chances have led to a fair projection of about 12.5 for him. If you have this at 10 with the fair market essentially, and then you add 1, I think 11 is a really good projection, and I think 12 is a pretty good ceiling for Nemby. So I totally see that bet. I like that play. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that, Toledo. Damn, I really love it. Anytime I can also bet on Nembhard. There was a time back in the day where Nemby was paying for our kids' tuitions with his playoff performances. Our boy playoff Nembhard.
Wasn't it like over like 12.5 or something like that every single time?
Every time. I was like, great, death taxes and 15 plus for Andrew Nembhard. Let's get it. It was wonderful. Yeah, and then he was just D'ing up SGA while scoring on SGA. It was beautiful. Cody Williams ruled out. Was the other guy, who was it, Nurk? Is he ruled out yet or not yet?
I have not seen it, but CMB is in. Where is in? Mitchell is out, and Powell is in.
I want to look at Colin Murray Boyles in a sec. Okay, Nembhard RA. I appreciate that look. That's a really good one. If you get the Nembhard look at 10.5, I still think that's a pretty good bet in this matchup, especially against the Los Bulls, who, when we go to the matchup over here for the Pacers, we can see the Bulls are the 3rd best team to play for assist and scoring opportunities. So they give up a ton of opportunities on the potentials, and they give up a ton of field goal attempts because they play fast as hell and they suck on defense. All right. Next game we're rolling to. Yeah, I'm good to go to the Celtics and Hawks, and then we'll just keep rolling as fast as we can. We got 6 p.m. on the East Coast. We're good. Let's see this game. I did take Okongwu. What's that number at?
Last I saw it was at 15.5. I don't know if it's still there, but that was about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, it's gone. So 16.5 is available, and we love to. He jumped out to me. I put him on the episode last night because he jumped out to me right away. So I put all his stats up on some of the graphics that I was putting out last night. Let me pull up Okongwu real quick to just show you. This is a real easy way to show you what I was looking at. So points, this is recent and hot cold edges. This is the recent stuff that we're looking at on the model. When it says recent numbers, we're saying based on what he's been doing recently, 19 points based on his scoring opportunities as of late. That's 3 higher than was the projection or the line at 15.5. So we had a nice edge there. You look at the roll man versus this squad. This is the 3rd or 4th worst defense, giving up a ton of field field goal attempts to the roll man, as they really try to just limit what you do on the perimeter. And they try to limit what you do down low, but Neemias Queta is not playing. So that's a big deal for their defense down low. And then you look at the differential based on our projection. Specifically, we have them at 17.8 or so on the points. So I do think that's a good look for Okongwu. I'll just pull him back up as we pull up Atlanta again. Let's see what the overall projections are for the squad. We've got, we do like Jalen Johnson, 22.5, 10 is good. And then Okongwu right here, 16.7. Okay. So this actually probably dipped a bit as the markets fluctuated between 15.5, 16.5. I think 17 is the fair projection for him. I don't know if I would take 16.5. I love the extra edge that you get on the 15.5, but our boy's been going off. He had a really good game against them recently as well for Onyeka against the Celtics on the 17th. I like the 22% usage, even though they lost by 26 points in that game. We'll see what happens. Neemias Queta is really important to this team, man, but Porzingis is sidelined. So what happened in the chat? What'd I miss?
Oh, no, I was just laughing at your comment about them losing by 26.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they did. They suck. They're figuring it out. We'll see. This is a nice win against the Pacers, I suppose. This was a good win against the Suns, too. But what else we got in this game? Did you have anything in this one?
I haven't put a bet down outside of the Onyeka bet. I looked at Luka Garza. If it's still at 4.5 boards, I might hit this.
Okay.
5 is very fair market, but with potential increased minutes with Queta being out and a bad rebounding team, specifically like bottom 5 in the league, allowing rebounds. Mm-hmm. I kind of like the upside here.
Mm-hmm. So 4.5 is what we have at fair market for him. He's gonna. I guess what we should be looking at too is the injury impact of Queta. So it's mostly Walsh and Tillman that have benefited from Queta being out over the course of the season. It's only been 2 games though. You can't really use this much. I don't know. Is Tillman even in the rotation anymore? I'm not totally sure. But I can get there with Garza. Is it still 4.5?
Let's see here. Luka Garza. No, it is now 5.5.
Yeah. I don't know if I would take that.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm out on that one too. Let's look at JJ for a minute because we love him on the boards and the points, but Cody's talking about under 7.5, which is only available on DK or Bet Online right now. It looks like of these books I have listed. Let's bring up Jalen. You have to sift through like 27 Jalens these days when you want to find the right Jalen. Everybody named Mama named Jalen. Well, everybody's mama named them Jalen. 22, 10, 7.5. And then you take so this is a good way to look at Jalen Johnson. Like we have fair market 7.5. When you look at these numbers on the left based on his usage, and this is getting a bit of an overhaul. Swish and I've been working the last couple of days to like set up a little bit of an overhaul to make this stuff a little bit easier to look at. We kind of fine tuned some of the design stuff together, but so this will have a little bit different look, but all the same data. It'll just lead you to the right data a little bit better. The data that you want to look at, data, is the usage trends, especially, right? So if you look at, once again, recent stuff for Jalen has been that recently, you look at his numbers points wise, you look at his numbers rebounds wise, he's been averaging about 23 based on his, not just what he's been doing, but based on the amount that he's been shooting, the amount that he's been taking shots and getting to the free throw line, and his usage rate and his touches. That's all led to him having about a 23-point fair projection based on just of what he's been doing. Same on the boards, really high number based on his rebound chances, and then 7.5 dimes, which is about the fair number for this one, I would say too. So 7.5 plus then you take away a little bit because of the really tough matchup. I believe the Celtics, if we go to the matchup, they are the 3rd or 4th hardest team to get opportunities to dime up. They don't give up assist opportunities. They don't give up scoring opportunities because they don't play fast, and they're a top 12 defense in the league overall. So this is a tough defense to get stuff against, but this is 6.5 now. So I don't know if you want to take that chance on the 6.5 under. You have a nice edge on 7.5, Cody. I do like the under on the 7.5 specifically. I would be considering the over on the PR. My main thing with him is like, I love that the model loves him. And I love that, like, as a primary against this squad, like he's actually in a pretty good spot to get some points going to the rim against a team that's good against the rim, but won't have its primary rim protector in Neemias Queta. So then you look at Jalen and you go, I do like the points at 21.5. I do like the boards at 10. The boards at minus 130, I'm like, I don't need to pay that juice for Jalen Johnson to go up. Even though it's no Neemias Queta, it's still an overall good rebounding team. That they don't give up a lot of chances to rebound. They make a lot of shots and they don't play very fast. So it doesn't give it a lot of rebounding opportunities. So I ended up staying away entirely. If you get 7.5 assists for a decent number, I'd be down to fade that with you as well, Cody. But anywhere else you want to go in this one? Matt?
This is an interesting look. Obviously, someone brought up like I think Hugo rebounds, but also
Hugo?
someone brought up Hugo over 3.5 points.
All right.
And I might just take that on a flyer.
3.5 points for Hugo. Really?
I'm seeing 4.5 for plus 130, and then that's on the best book in Florida, and then DraftKings has it for minus 112.
What's the second best book in Florida?
None. your friend's phone number.
The guy at your local bar. Yep. The bartender.
But no, I might just take this as a plus EV play. Hard Rock's offering it's plus 130 for 4.5, and DraftKings got it at minus 112. I think that's a good look.
What do we have for minutes for him?
That's a good question. Don't tell me, so I won't not bet it.
If he plays 18, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's 2 shots if they go in. It's kind of like betting on the coin flip at the Super Bowl. You just got to do it on principle.
You heard it here first. Based on principle, you just got to bet 4.5 for Hugo or 3.5 for Hugo Gonzalez. That is so great. You won't hear that type of shit on any other show, I assure you. 4.5 plus 130. 3.5 minus 110. Like sometimes you just got to do it, man. So I feel it. I don't feel it. I don't know how to cap it, but like if it's 3.5 and he's playing 18 minutes, let's do a little. Yeah. Let's do a little. What if he plays 14 to 20? What does that do for you? Not bad. Yeah, not bad. And you can take 5+ points these days for folks on FanDuel. They have the 5+
PR.
Dude, boards are at 3.5.
Yeah, 7.5.
PI 7.5. I would rather for sure take 3.5 points, but if I get 4.5 points for plus money, I'll take that too for Luka.
1,000%. Like I just got to take it as a plus EV play at this point.
Oh man, yeah. I think if I sent this to my friend Kareem right now, and I was like, "Yo, Hugo Gonzalez 4.5 points," he'd be like, "Brother, I think you need to log off." That's what he would tell me.
Hit the phone number, please. I'm begging.
Just go touch grass for a second. I don't know how to bet on the Celtics is a good way for me to answer your Luka Garza or Hugo Gonzalez question.
I understand.
Yeah, I
degenerates.
Yeah, it is. It's also just like a team that like all the usage is in one place. It's right here. And then if Derek White's not shooting well, which he has not been doing, then you want to stay away from him. Where is Derek White now? I love Derek White, man, but he has been in poo-poo land. So 18, 15, 13, 4, 7, 8. These are his like he scored 18 twice in the last 10. And other than that, it is boo-boo. Since that San Antonio game where he always scores against San Antonio for those paying attention because they traded him to the Celtics and he took that personally, I guess. They sent him to a champion, so whatever. But 18 is the projection for him. Yeah, I'm just trying to show you that like the recent stuff for Derek White's not great if you're interested, but we don't need to harp on it. I'm just checking the comments, see if there's anything there too. And you know, your local Boston fan does like Hugo at Prop Happens. Check him out too. He's in the Discord with his own channel, dropping plays too. Are you still betting on soccer, David? I know there's.
He's in the VIP all the time talking soccer.
He's crushing the soccers. I think he's got some models and everything too. My boy's rocking it. We're gonna get David back on the show too. We got to get a double live show producer action. You kidding me? That sounds awesome. All right. Dyson Daniels, let's see, No Cap Mac. I like that name. No Cap Mac. Dyson Daniels over points is interesting to me. They like to leave him open. They do be liking to leave him open. The Celtics are very much that, like, we'll let who we want to shoot team. A la like old kind of Greg Popovich-y. For DD, I'm just not, like, for someone who doesn't get to the line and also doesn't shoot threes, and I'm just relying on him making little bunnies and shots, like, I'm usually out on the points unless I'm fading it. The dimes for him, 5.5 is low because of the opponent, probably. Because I've seen him at 6.5. I'll take a look at Dyson real quick, and then we'll probably move on because I've exhausted what I like in this game too. Dyson, we got 310. We're not too bad. Yeah, everything's fair for him. The assists are the thing that if you don't care about the matchup too much, like 6 assists is very reasonable, but you got to pay the juice. He didn't play in the last game against them, right? Yeah, he sat out against Boston last game, so. Nothing there on how he performed against them, but I don't love much for Dyson in terms of overs. So let's roll to something else. I gotta get to all the bottom of the comments here. And we got to look for McCollum rebounds if you guys are interested too. Just want to share what's in the chat. Hopefully you guys can see what's in the chat. Let me know if you like the chat thing down here on the right side of the screen. I'm hoping that like you guys like to be able to see all the comments that come up. But if it's just in the way, then let me know. Let's do Memphis. Yes, sir. Yep. Swish is also requesting Memphis. Let's get it.
Do you want to start? Or you want me to start?
No, I want you to start because I need to fill up my water glass. I'll be right back. Where
no, you're good. We can stay on Charlotte. I'm just going to take Musa over 8.5 boards, also in principle. I will also be taking a stab at his double-double.
What?
Landale might surprise me or punish me for taking the double-double, but I'm definitely taking both. Six. Yeah. What's that?
Keep going. My bad.
I also like 16.5 points for Khan. That's just kind of my press the number for Khan if he's available at 16.5. Anything above that, I'm starting to question why I'm taking it, but 16.5 is just my press the number. And then finally, I think LaMelo is interesting at 6.5 assists. Definitely think Memphis leaves a lot of room for playmaking, and there's probably gonna be. I haven't looked at this actually, so let me look at it before I say it. I imagine this is a decently sized total.
Yeah, the total for this game.
Oh yeah,
230.5.
Yeah. I was looking at LaMelo. I was talking about LaMelo over 6.5 assists if it's still available.
Oh, LaMelo. I was looking at Musa. Did you like the boards and the points? You took.
I took the boards at a full unit. I'm taking a stab at the double if it's still like plus 400 or plus 500 or something like that.
It is plus 420. Nice.
Sign me up. I'm there.
Yeah.
And they're like swimwear.
Smokers unite. Yeah. So LaMelo on the dimes. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I think I like it.
LaMelo.
I think there's just a lot of lanes to play make, and I think Memphis is a pretty lackluster team defensively. Yeah. And right now Memphis is lighting it up. I also took the -2 earlier today. I think Charlotte is incredible right now playing offensively, and I want to lean into that.
Why is LaMelo at 6.5 assists?
That is a valid question, and I haven't looked for an answer, and I don't know that I want to.
I don't want to know. I don't know, and I don't want to know. I'm taking it. Memphis is bottom 10 limiting scoring and assisting opportunities. They are third in terms of teams you would love to play to get boards against because Jaren Jackson and Santi Aldama are not it on the boards. Neither is Jock. LaMelo 6.5 dimes for so it's juiced even more everywhere else. I could easily get there with -136. I'm gonna bet that. Yeah, I don't understand either.
Yes, sir. That's a weird number.
Are they playing tomorrow?
That's a great question. That's the one thing I did not check.
They're playing the Grizz today. And they're playing also ESPN. For the love of God, why do you have the top game is what are we doing? Who has their schedule like this? You're ESPN. This has been this way for like 6 years. 6 years. You go to a team schedule and the most recent. What are we doing? In what world? Like you have guys whose job it is. Their whole job is to just be like, this shouldn't be in this order. That's what they do every day is like, does this look good on the site? Cool, move on. This is ridiculous. Memphis. And yeah, they're playing tomorrow. This is what it is, right?
Yeah, that has to be what it is. That number is incredibly low.
That's what it is. So whatever you want to check out with LaMelo is always like, are there back-to-backs? Because we have that intel all the time about LaMelo that if they have a back-to-back, he's going to play reduced minutes in both games. So he's going to play like 26 to 30 max in both games and then not play 35 in one and then not play the next game. So I would bet that minutes are what we're looking at for 6.5 of LaMelo. So like, let's give him 26 to 30 minutes. I bet you it's still like 7.5 assists, dude. Yeah, it's actually 8 dimes if he plays 26 to 30.
I was about to say, I'm not going to lie to you. I could see him having 5 dimes before halftime.
Yes. What? Yeah, I'm there with it, man. Nothing is telling me not to bet this other than like he playing 20 minutes. How many minutes does he have to play before I'm like, oh no, not 7? All right, yeah, I'm taking that.
We just had a question about Cam assists. I am your resident Cam Spencer PR. Yep. It's too high.
We'll let you handle this one. Is it 9.5?
That's what I last saw it at. I mean, I love that kid. He's in my personal collection of cards. But I can't get there with it.
Wow. 8.5 plus money now.
That's tempting. That is tempting. But
team
Charlotte's been locked down, man. They're so good recently.
Have they been really that good lately, limiting assists? I'm just gonna come. I know it's just overall, but it's like opponent assists. Let's do what are the last like 12 games. I think they have the best next best net rating in the league in the last 12. Hold on, I'm gonna look at this and I want to know what you're talking about. Assists allowed, they're third best limiting assist. Oh, we're talking about them. We're talking about Memphis. Oh no, we're talking about Cam. My bad. I'm getting confused. We're talking about Cam assists. They're at 8.5 now. They were 9.5, and they got bet down because everybody also said, like, what are we talking about? Cam Spencer's a nice player, but this is absurd. Charlotte is third best limiting assists in the last 12 games. They're also I think that they are the number one rated team in the last 12 games in the NBA. That is bonkers. Net rating, boom. That's silly. That's wild to me. I'm going to keep going. We definitely have like about 12, 15 minutes left in that range. Quick reminder, if you would, go ahead and give the video a like. Goes a real long way to help everything out. Yeah, I can't get there with Cam, so I'm glad you told us not to bet him. I'm betting LaMelo dimes, though.
Swish is saying there's a 7.5 out there juiced, if that's the truth, which I trust. That's a hit. But I'm not seeing it anywhere.
What do we have Cam at?
And then Swish also likes the points. Yeah. I'm going to bet his points live probably, but I'm not taking his points pregame.
Is 11.5 still available for Cam's points?
Yeah, in Florida. Oh, there's actually a DraftKings as well, actually.
The Sunshine State, baby. Yeah, it's just about Ja, no Ja. But points are not as much it for him without Ja. It's more the dimes when he plays the 23 games without Ja that go up, obviously, when he gets minutes. Remember when Vince Will was the point guard of this team? That was funny. I need to get my Ja bet down.
David's asking, what is it for Charlotte to make the playoffs?
David, you psycho. You beautiful psycho.
Let's see here. I'll look that up.
Know. Thank you.
Plus 650. Plus 650 on Hard Rock right now.
For them to make the playoffs, what are the standings?
That is a great question that I do not have in front of me.
I'll pull it up right here. So they're 4.5 out of the 3.5 out of the play-in. So it's plus what to make the playoffs?
650.
650 to make the playoffs. They need to replace one of these four teams. The Hawks seems doable. The Bulls is definitely doable. And then they got to win. I don't want to play Charlotte right now if I'm an NBA basketball team.
I might have to sprinkle that just for like cash out purposes.
What a thought, David. I like it. I'm getting this bet down.
Yeah, I agree, Swish. They definitely have to continue to run the table, and that is the question, right? Can they stay healthy enough to run the table? That's a what's that?
Like they need to just like go. They need to basically end the season. I think if they end the season 500, they could overtake the Bulls if they're 9 games below 500. Like that's what I think of Chicago, who I might even be trading Vooch soon. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to sprinkle it just for cash out purposes. I think
that's the question. If the play-in is just they have to overcome the Bulls and you get that at like 2-1, love that. 3-1. Yeah,
Swish, we know that. He was just basically saying they have to win in the play-in.
Oh yeah, right. I got you. Yeah, they don't have to win the rest of their NBA games this season. All right. I'm just gonna put this up as well. Let's go to something else in this game. Was there something that Swish was looking at that he didn't get to talk about yet? Is Miles Bridges at 6.5 boards? Because I'll fade that if he is.
No, I have not seen anything that Swish. He wanted to talk about Cam Spencer's points, and I think 11.5 is the cheap version of it. But I'm probably just going to wait to bet it live because he starts slow. He's been starting slow, and I think you just get a better number live.
That's fair. Man, Charlotte's a good defense right now. I'm not in a giant rush to bet against them either. So, where are they at? 4th best on defense, and this is so crazy, dude.
Cat Mac, I like Diabate rebounds more, but I'm sprinkling the double-double.
Yeah, we love the Musa rebounds. If you get, it was 8.5, right? That wasn't 7.5. So 8.5. We still like him at about 10. I mean, anytime you look at a model that's talking about Musa Diabate, it's going to be like rebounds per minute, 17 rebounds per minute. So we like his rebounds. Like he's insane. So let me get this going. And then, if there's nothing else from this game, let's scooch to whichever one we think is the best.
I'll follow your lead this time.
All right. The best one left.
Sam's starting today. Wow.
Sam Merrill.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't get his 11. I did get his 11. My bad. Heat. Anything there? What's Jaime at? That would be where I'd be going. 4.5 dimes, 4.5 boards. Is Kalel Ware in or out? Do you know he's in?
Yes, Ware is in.
Okay. Let's pull up this Heat squad real quick, and I'm gonna put this bet down. Miami. Do you want to talk about anything on this one real quick? This is what I was looking at with Jaime. The model is just goo for Jaime.
I couldn't get to anything on Miami. Everything looked really fair to me, honestly. However, if you want to get the bet down, I could talk about something for Orlando if it's still available.
Sure.
I'm looking at Orlando, Jalen Suggs over 7.5 RA. Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense with friends not in the lineup and then playing Miami's pace. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that I was considering, and I might get to the windows with this, I have not, but I have bet Jalen Suggs, is Anthony Black over 1.5 threes. I find it pretty intriguing. Last 10 with Banco, Bain, Carter, Black, he's attempting 5.9 per game. And I think that's just a much better line to beat than his points. I think they were at 16.5, 17.5, something like that earlier. Maybe it's 15.5. I can't remember. It's 15.5. But I like the threes more, I think.
Got you. For Suggs specifically, or who's the last
one? Anthony Black for threes
Black,
over
points for Black. Yeah, it's 18.5, right? Is that what you're just saying? For him.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
For Black, did it get up to 18.5 points?
No, it's 15.5. I was wrong.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I just like the threes better for sure.
Interesting. And it was the attempts for him from three? Okay. Yeah, 1.5. But yeah, without Franz for sure. Let me just see what we've got for guys that are playing without Franz real quick. I forgot what it was. Wasn't quite as helpful for them, but Black definitely gets the bump in 19 games. An extra point in there. I kind of like the points, but I hear you on the threes. If you like the attempts, let me just see what they've been without Franz. Without Franz, 3-point attempts have been.
And I did last
6 per game. 1.2 more is legit. An extra attempt is not nothing from 3. So 1.5. He's averaging 2, and you can get this at a decent enough price to go in on it. -136. I'd call that EV. I would say that's an okay EV bet for -1.5, -1.5, -136. Yeah. Can you tell me why I shouldn't bet on Jaime? What am I missing? Does Swish have anything for that? If I could ask.
I'm sorry. No, my concern is where I know that he hasn't been getting minutes because for some reason Spo does not like the guy, or that's the speculation.
He's in the wrong spot at the wrong time. A decent amount starting to become pretty clear, but he's so damn big and athletic and versatile that it overcomes a lot of that.
Do I hate the 9.5? Not particularly. I just think it should be 8.5, and that's my biggest concern.
Yep, that's fair.
But I mean, to be clear,
for the RA specifically, right?
For RA, yes. To be clear, with Ware and without Mitchell, this is only a sample size of 2. Mm-hmm. He's at 12 in each game. So
Yep.
But that's also versus the Kings in one game, and then the C's in the other game. So the C's could be comparable to Orlando, I think. C's might even be better than Orlando defensively right now. So
yeah, I would argue. I'm not that impressed by Orlando defensively these days. Just looking at the last 12 defensively for them, this is not normal to see them where they're all the way down at 25th in their last 12 games. I mean, some Franz, some not Franz, but I don't think Franz really impacts the defense that much. If anything,
I think the other problem to this too is I'm partial to the RA for Jalen Suggs, and they're just kind of conflicting.
Yeah, that's fine. I understand that entirely. That's how I felt about Merrill and Jalen Tyson before I bet on Sam Merrill anyway. So I get that.
Swish agrees though. Got not on Jaime, but yeah, where is the little caveat?
I got you. All right. Anything else from this game, or we can move for another 5 minutes or so?
Sure. Do you want to go to? Do you have anything in Minnesota and what's that game? Shoot. Minnesota and Dallas.
No, definitely not. There's guys that the model liked because of guys that were in and out, but I haven't followed the matrix of in and outs that come for the Dallas Mavericks today, especially. So,
what about your Knicks in Toronto?
That we can get to. Yeah, let's close with that one. Who is out officially? There's so much for the Knicks, right? So
define officially.
Mitch Rob is out. That was announced. We should probably get that in if we can swish on Mitch Rob. He's not going to be getting the normal stuff today, that's for sure. Which is probably
100%.
So he's already out, and then Hart and Brunson. Look at that. It looks really good. Hart and Brunson. I think Brunson probably plays. Do we think they both play? There's no updates there, right?
I haven't seen anything come across. The last thing I saw was the downgrade for Brunson, but I don't have a read on that to feel confident in saying either thing. Right. The one thing that I am circling, and I'm trying to think of a reason not to do it, is Shamet over 9.5 PRA. The look here is the same thing we had with Deuce, right?
It's gone for sure, right? Yeah, it's 13. What were you saying?
It's 13.5?
Did you say 9.5?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was probably the Deuce is out, right? And then
this was afterwards. Dang it, that moved fast.
The Jalen news moved it. So are people 25.5? Well, that would be probably a normal price for Jalen against this defense. But yeah, I guess Hart and Brunson being questionable is going to bump Shamet up by 4 PRA, though.
Yeah, it was 9.5 earlier.
Sheesh, yeah, but they took it down in most places. It's 15 plus only available on.
Yeah, that's a no bueno.
There's not much we can do with it with the question. I forgot that there's 2 questionable tags here for Brunson and Hart. If no Brunson, we've got not gonna be much there. But you know what? We might get some Tyler Kolek. Is old boy Jordan Clarkson still out or questionable? I know he missed a game, but he's also had some like coaches DNPs.
No lines offered for him yet.
Yeah, there's not much there, I guess. That's what I was hoping to get to because I thought there would be more established. On the other side, like I would consider, so we got no Mitch Rob, right?
Correct.
What about CMB points or Sandro points?
Yes.
You've seen Karl Anthony Towns play defense, right?
Yes.
Zesty cat.
I'm probably gonna take the PR for CMB, to be honest.
The PR,
yeah, even money.
So 10 and 6.5. Yeah, I think those are bets. They're hard to rebound against, even without Mitch Rob. That's for sure. Sandro, we still have it 15.5 freaking points, man. What's Sandro minutes been? 32, 35. This is without Colin. This is without him, though. Okay, so this is all without CMB. So if he's playing with CMB and without Pirtle, that's a lot of games too. 11. What about CMB in that same situation real quick? Without Pirtle, with Sandro, Mamu. Maxing that out. How about 9.5, 6.5? So the PR is at 15.5. We've got him for about 17. And Sandro, we love today.
Yeah, I like both. PRA, I guess the concern with CMB, like he's coming off injury. Does he have a minutes restriction at all? I don't think the numbers are saying that though. So I don't know.
Well, let's see real quick. How long has he been out? Where's the Colin Murray Boyles? 10 and 7. That would be most likely in about like 27-ish minutes. That we would have that projection for him. I think today we have him at 32.8. So yeah, that's gonna be a bit high. The Sandro stuff. What do we have him at? Sandro Mamu Kalashvili. I mean, recent points have been super high because he was playing without CMB in all these games and going over against the Golden States and the Sacks and the Portlands. OKC only 10 points, 32 minutes. Tough defense, obviously, even though they won by 2. So if you put him at fair at 13, like 10.5 is still good. And even if you take away one for Colin Murray Boyles being out there, you put him at like 12, still beats 10.5 pretty well. I think that's pretty good for Sandro. I like both those. I'm gonna get Sandro down with the idea that he's a little bit more reliable on the minutes to the point that you're making, right?
Yeah, I think I trust CMB a bit more than I trust Sandro, just the number Sandro is getting. And if you're splitting that time with CMB, I don't know that I want to pay that premium on his points. But on the flip side of that coin, like CMB is priced like he's in at premium. too.
Yeah.
So that's important to take into account. I think though, I trust CMB just a slight bit more. I will say, now I'm thinking about it, there's also the chance that CMB does not start, and he had been starting previously.
Right. Yep. That's yeah. So Cody thinks that Sandro comes off the bench. That's what he's done, right? That's what he has done when they've both been healthy playing before, but I'm just not positive. Ben wants to know about Sandro over 1.5 threes. On the threes coming over here. 1.5. Knicks drop defense. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Knicks drop defense. What do you take over here? Played 27 minutes. He took 3 of them. I don't love him to need 2 to make 3. If he needs to make 2, I want him to take at least 5. And I just don't know if I'm there with it. I get the he'll have good looks, but yeah, it's juiced up on these other spots because 1.5 is a bit like, yeah, I understand wanting to take it because of the drop D of the Knicks, and that's about the only cap that I have on it for real. So I wouldn't necessarily feel great about it, but been on a tear over here again, getting big minutes with no CMB and getting more usage. So yeah, I think I like the most I like out of that is I still like Sandro, but I also just love Sandro because I've learned to say his name and spell it correctly, and I feel really close. Anything we should talk about before we close out?
My final thought will be, if I'm right and CMB does not start, I will be looking to take PR live.
Okay.
Because that will, I'm assuming that will adjust his PR line currently.
And then bump up, yeah.
Bingo.
A lot of you are probably doing this because you see me do it, but I would follow Underdog for those quick updates. They're committed to it, so they're going to get you what you need pretty quickly. As far as starting lineups go, you can see they put them out as soon as they can, which teams love to take their time to do. But that is going to be it. I'm going to be coming back with a video for tonight. I'm going to get started on that pretty soon. Want to make sure you guys know, too, if you want to get a free month up on the site where we're using all those projections and giving you guys all those tools, you can also just sign up for one of the sports books that are linked in the description of the video. We'll get you your first month up on the site free. Just hit us up, email support@landyourbets.com. That's where you just let us know, hey, I signed up for Novig, used code LYB. Would love to get the first month free on the site. Check out the projections, all that stuff. You can also do it with Kalshi if you want to get on there and bet on everything that people on Kalshi are betting on. Go ahead and use code LYB, sign up. Let us know. Just email us. Give you that first month free. And we do have the trial going on the site as well for everybody interested. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said, I'll be back tonight. Appreciate you as always, Maddie and Swish in the comments. And until we see you next, happy betting.